Well, good morning. We're back in Middle Earth, and we're back on Miss Medrielle as she finally continues her quest through Mirkwood. We're going to start with talking to Medrielle, and that is for the part of the main story.
What is safe for the Golden Host is not safe for the errand of the Hidden Guard.
I see, Medrielle. It would appear that the orcs are indeed watching the road through Blum very closely. What is safe for the Golden Host, then, is not safe for the errand of the Hidden Guard. I cannot recommend this way to Coutron. The Hidden Guard must find another way to Dol Guldur, a secret way. Passage through Blum is too closely watched. Alright, so we have a couple of side quests to turn in. Excellent. With the Kerbane kept at bay and the wolves leaderless, I think we have dealt with the feral threats of Blum for the time being. Long enough to do what we must, for we shall not tarry long beneath these dark boughs. Now, he had some other stuff. I want to try to figure out what everyone has here. The hunt for Gollum, the battle for Dol Guldur. That one we're going to wait on because we're not going to Gafford's yet that I know of. Such odd gems. They seem almost unreal and weightless, as if they were formed of smoke or mist made solid. This is enough, though. The nature of these gems tell me the ward upon the door is no physical thing at all, or even true magic. It is a glamour woven of shadows, no more. Now that you know its nature, you will find it has no power over you, and it will unravel at your approach, as do so many of the enemy's lies once they are laid bare to light. So, Medrielle, the Tower of Medrielle now lays open to us. I should tell you something of its nature before you enter therein. Medrielle was once an observatory built by the elves of Oscalad, my kin of old. We used it to study the stars in their myriad dance across the sky. We gained much knowledge of the heavens there long ago, and some relics may remain from among the mechanisms and arts that we employed in those studies. Once you gain access to the tower's interior, see if you can gather any such relics. It is likely the enemy has turned them to their own uses, or destroyed them altogether, but if you can recover any, I would be very interested to see them. We are going to hide the second breakfast one.
Might you spare a moment of your time?
And this is a timed quest, which I have no interest in doing right now. This one takes us into the Scuttle Dells, which I'm not interested in at the moment. And that one takes us to Gaffberg. Okay, so those I'm not interested in. Blah, blah, blah. There is no other way, Medrielle. While it pains me more than anything to order it so, any elven relics remaining within Medrielle must be destroyed, and quickly. Their purpose has been corrupted beyond recovery, and the powers they now shape at the hands of the enemy are too dangerous to be left unchecked. Return to Medrielle and destroy these artifacts wherever you find them within, so that they are of no further use to our enemies. In the meantime, I shall attempt to divine who or what has brought this evil deed, so that we may have our vengeance upon them for this grievous loss. So now we have to find Sylvan relics and destroy corrupted relics.
Will you lend me your ear?
Okay. Let's see, anything else? Have this guy collect pristine webbings. We won't do that until we head into the Scuttle Dells. All right, so looks like we are headed to Medrielle to, well, clear it out. Oh, no, not that way. I'm just going to get on my horse. If anything chases me, it's welcome to chase me. And there's the door. No longer mysteriously hidden. All right. So, we have in here lots of Angmarum. Come on. Get over here. Oh, your turn. Found Sylvan relics. Okay. Lots of mobs in here. I remember this place. I've been through it a couple times. All right. Of course, it makes you wonder what the Angmarum want with these. Although if they're as powerful as the elf suggests, I guess that would be our answer right there. Flag? Yep, flag. All right, we need 2 more. Yeah, I could have sworn that used to be more difficult. But then, I don't know, maybe it's because it was my first time through it. I did not know anything about it. I think every game has that level of it's really hard the first time through. But if you've done it a few times and you know what you're looking for, And it's not quite so much. Okay. Okay. Get rid of that one. And back to Oscalad. Okay, so we are back in Oscalad. And Goran.
How can I be of service?
What is this? These devices, they have been touched by sorcery most foul, turned from their simple purposes to the ends most evil. The firmament of stars above us, which we elves have always revered most among all creation, for they were made by Elbereth, light a great void of which we know little. But it seems that our enemy knows something of its true nature, for our instruments, which once turned to the study of the stars of Elbereth, now look deep into that endless void, and draw upon it to sustain the shadows which they now bring into our world. There is nothing I can do to unravel the corruption of our relics, Medrielle, had I the time to even attempt it. They must be destroyed, and quickly, if we are to prevent more of these unnatural spirits from being drawn into the light of our world.
How can I be of service?
All the relics were destroyed then. Very well. You have done as I asked, though I had long dreamed to return to the West holding such treasures of my youth aloft. I must harbor no such hopes in this dark place. I shall focus instead on the task at hand, and nothing more. All that matters now is the defeat of the sorcerer responsible for this evil. Starlight and shadows.
Mind my words, traveler.
Something stirs atop the Tower of Medrielle, Medrielle. I can feel it from here. Powerful sorcery is being wrought, and will soon come to its culmination. We must put an end to it before it's completed. The power I feel gathering is too great for you to face alone, and it is likely wielded by the sorcerer responsible for the desecration of Medrielle, against whom I would seek swift vengeance. You should prepare for an assault upon the tower's summit. Little time remains. And we talk to her and go into the instant starlight and shadows. Are you and your companions prepared? I have no companions, but usually that's not a particular problem. Hopefully.
Turning elvish relics to dark purposes, an evil sorcerer prepares to summon deadly shadows from the void atop an ancient tower over Emin Loom.
All right, where's food? We aren't going to be dumb. We're going to at least eat something. All right, 2 down. Okay, 3 down. Four down. Too late, fools. The summoning is complete, and the shadows shall fall on all of Mirkwood. Defeated Gulen, sorcerer of Medrielle. Completed. Okay. I didn't figure it would be much of a problem. And we exit. And it takes us right back to Oscalad. Now, if it would only take me a little closer to her, right?
Megawonnen.
So it was Gwilben who wielded the sorceries atop Miniskill. I have heard his name before. He was said to be a powerful sorcerer, descended from the bloodlines of the Black Numenorians. It is good that his evil has come to a final end, and the spirit he sought to summon has been cast back into the void. Miniskill shall never serve the elves again, but now perhaps it may be left to fall into timeless ruin among the silence of the forest. All right, so that's done. The only thing we have left we have the glowering trees of the Drown Halt, but I think we can hold off on that for a little while longer. So yeah, other thing we have on the books at the moment is the Epic, which is going to take us to a couple more places. Tormor Bith and the Scuttle Dells. Well, the Scuttle Dells, huh? All right. Who had Scuttledale quests for me? The Hunt for Gollum.
Might you spare a moment of your time?
Gollum has slipped through our fingers yet again. I have good reason to believe that he's fled to the north into the Scuttle Dells, a warren of ravens and gullies infested with spiders and other foul beasts. I've sent instruction to my scouts there to be on the lookout for him, but I have received no word from them since, and fear that something may be amiss. Would you be willing to journey into the Scuttle Dells and lend my scouts aid in capturing Gollum? He is more elusive than any creature I have encountered before, and they may need your help. Speak, Whitmalumiel. And I don't think he had anything. No, his only thing was that timed message quest. Which I'll be honest, I'm not particularly fond of half the timed quest. But now we can talk to Legendir again.
Greetings, friend.
Good day to
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Though the circumstances are dark ones, I have heard tell that you are a worthy and brave adventurer who has aided the Maladrim in this deadly venture into Mirkwood. Though my cause is less worthy, but no less deadly, I have need of your aid if you will help me. The silk of the giant spiders in Mirkwood is of surpassing quality and has myriad uses if it can be collected pristine and fresh. I have need of quite a bit of this silk, not the least to produce bandages for those wounded in these battles. I myself am well studied in the lore of runecraft, and I may have some writings here that are of interest to you to trade for your efforts. So it's a repeatable quest, and I think you can actually repeat it as many times as you want, which makes it useful for working on rep in Mirkwood. Speaking of which, reputation, how far are we into our Maladrim rep? We are at friend. Okay. Almost at ally. So we're getting along pretty well. But now we need to head off into the Scuttle Dells before I go. Okay, my bags are in pretty good shape. Alright, so we're heading out to the Scuttle Dells. And definitely not my favorite place in the Mirkwood, but it does have lots of quests, and I did say I'd be doing quests. So, well, let's have fun watching me get lost a few times, shall we? I have no idea where I'm going. I'll be honest. I'm just following the path. I am probably hopelessly lost. Or maybe I'm not. I don't know. Oh, did I find them? I found somebody. Okay. That actually wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. The hunt for Gollum.
What can I do for you?
Fergus believes Gollum is now here in the Scuttle Dells. I would feel better about our chances of finding him if most of my scouts were not already missing themselves. These ravines are treacherous to any who dare them, and I fear we will be lucky to emerge from them unscathed, much less to capture one such as this Gollum within them. Nevertheless, Fergus's order is clear, and he would not have it made if the need were not dire. Let us see what we can find of this lurking creature, shall we?
Stay a moment.
I received dark news indeed, Medrielle. One of my scouts has told me of a deadly queen to the black venom spiders, a brood that infest the cave in the northern Scuttle Dells. One of his companions fell to her, succumbing to poison so quickly and deadly that he was compelled to flee from her as swiftly as he could. We have little chance of destroying the brood so long as this creature lives, but I do not think you should dare to face her without some counter to her poison. If you can gather samples of the black venom spider's poison, I may be able to help you concoct such an antidote. Gather a few venom glands from Dolores' brood, then we shall make our preparations.
Might you spare a moment of your time?
Greetings, Medrielle. You have not come at a particularly auspicious time. Most of our number is already lost to us out in the lands that we call the Scuttle Dells. We were sent out to scout the terrain but a few days ago, but only a few of our small company have yet returned, and they tell twisted ravines, crawling with evil things. To the north in particular are the spiders that give this place its name, and it is there that I believe several of our comrades have been ensnared by spiders. There may yet be time to free them before they are slain if we are fortunate. Can you assist with this deed? So we have to find all sorts of things in the Scuttle Dells, and there are all sorts of things in the Scuttle Dells.
Mind my words, traveler.
Keep one eye to the skies, Medrielle. There are a number of the enemy's black-feathered servants about. My scouts will be hard-pressed to move unseen with such keen eyes above us. Defeat them quickly if you should come upon them in the ravines and gullies below. The fewer that make it back to Dol Guldur alive, the better.
Stay a moment.
Greetings, traveler. My name is Iverell, and I serve at Celeborn's request as the scout leader for the Maladrim expedition into Mirkwood. Alas, his trust in me was misplaced, for we have come to ruin here in this twisted place. Few of my scouts have returned at all, but worst of all is the loss of poor Hal Tiller. Hal was a young hobbit of an unusually adventurous strain, who begged to join us in this expedition. He was also a burglar with an unusually light step, even for his kind, and of such earnest heart that I accepted, and in doing so I surely signed the warrant for his death. My fellow scouts were all of fine mettle and experience, and the rest they knew well, but poor Hal was but a child compared to them, and I should never have allowed it. I cannot abandon my watch, for my duty to the Maladrim is clear, and should any of my scouts yet live, they shall come here. Yet you are clearly an adventurer of great mettle, and have come this far yourself. Would you help me discover the fate of poor Hal? There must be some trace of him in the Scuttle Dells.
Mind my words, traveler.
A word of caution, Medrielle. If you head into the Scuttle Dells towards the east, you will soon find yourself among a number of barrows from which the dead have risen to serve our enemy. It was for good reason that he once hid beneath the name of the necromancer, after all. These are not ancient barrows, however. None such were here in the time when my people lived in Lum. Thus I do not know what or who rises up against us now. Seek out the barrow stones if you can, and take note of their engravings. Perhaps we can learn more about the nature of this place and how best to subdue it. Okay. Now, we still have not found Gladiol, who is somewhere in the Scuttle Dells as well. Actually, not far from here. But we have just taken a ton of new quests. We have to get silk. We have to get poison glands, free elves, kill crows, search areas, a lot of stuff. And we will be continuing that next time. Until then, and bye for now.